Hey guys, Zero here from the 1-0 team, and today I have for you a Titlemon profile. And Titlemon is what I personally believe to be the best purple deck in the BT6 meta. And now you might be wondering, where's Hoang? Well, today I will be doing the recording. I am taking over now. It is because I am the more experienced purple player of the two of us, and I in general have tested more purple decks than he has. So, stuck with me today. And so let's get to it. Now, let's talk about some key cards. First off, we have Ginkaku Promote. This is a powerful extender with Rush. And if you don't know what this card does, not only does it have Rush, when you play it, you might also put a Ginkakumon and Ginkakumon from your trash into this Digimon evolution source. And you put up to 2 cards. You can draw 1 and gain 1 memory. Now this is a very powerful effect, as this card will be in this deck will allow you to extend your combos, set up OTK, or in general just create very high tempo plays. Next, we have Rebellionmon, or what is more commonly known as the card that make Justmon player weep in the corner. Well, if you didn't know, this card, when you evolve it, you can trash 1 card from your hand to give it blocker and retaliation. Now, this effect lasts until the end of your opponent next turn, meaning that the effect is gained by the card, so you can also evolve a level 6 on top of this card and maintain this effect. And this will allow you to create a very powerful wall that a lot of the current meta decks will struggle to swing into. You can use this card to stop lethal from decks like Gabumon and Justmon, as previously mentioned. And of course, we can't forget the star of the show himself, Titamon. This is, in my opinion, one of the most versatile purple cards that's ever been printed. His effect is when you evolve, you can trash 1 to play any level 4 from your trash. And on top of that, when you trash a card from your hand, he gains additional security attack and 2,000 additional DP. What this allows you to do is not only generate pressure, maintain tempo, but you can, through his effect, create some very devastating plays. Next, we have some text option that you can run in this deck. First off, we have Titamon and Electmon. These are powerful anti-rookie rush tool, which you will find that is quite prevalent in this meta due to a number of variants that pop up thanks to Agumon and Gabumon being available. Now, you also have Skullgreymon and Boogie, which are big beaters that allow you to pressure those same bond decks. The one notable thing about the bond decks that is the Rookie Rush variant is when they warp Digivolve, they burn themselves with 2. So if you pressure them early, they could be put into a position where when they warp, you can throw them back easily. And for alternative level 6 that you can run, you have Mastemon, which allow for additional board expansion as a supplement to Titamon. You can also choose to play Manoa with Mega Digimon Fusion, which allow you to evolve in Omnium Resort, which then can set up a number of plays. And as previously mentioned, one of the key cards of this deck is Ginkaku Promote. So if you were to warp Digivolve into Zort and play a Ginkaku Promote, that is 2 additional attack there that you generate from nothing. Now, as for matchups, the bad matchup for this decks are going to be decks that have very strong security option and that can punish you, because after all, this is in a way a deck that's very reliant on 1 stack. Some of the times that you're going to win is through swinging it with Titlemon and then untapping him with Black War Groundmon and doing about 4 security check that way, and maybe it's getting a 5th attack to your Ginkaku Promote or in some other ways. So decks with really strong security will shut down this strategy and make it difficult for you to maintain board. But on the bright side, you have good matchups such as Black Knights. Well, for example, Black Knights really love their Genkumon, and Titlemon just so happened to counter Genkumon perfectly by always generating a body. So the opponent black player can never cleanly go into a Genkumon to delete your highest stack. They'll have to find an alternative way to kill your low stack before they can pop your Titamon, so to speak. And you also have a number of other options of dealing with them and their protection through Craniamon. And last but not least, you have Rookie Rush Gabumon, which is a deck that you will do pretty well into. I would not say that it's heavily favored either way, but due to the fact that your deck has a number of tools of dealing with Rookie's Digimon, along with the ability to pressure pretty quickly, you can put them into a position where it'd be quite awkward for them to warp. Now, let's get to the actual deck list, the reason you're here. First off, we have 4 Sunamon and 1 Demi-Miramon for your eggs. The reason we run Sunamon is because Sunamon allows you to draw a card when you trash a card. With this deck play style, what you're going to be doing often is trashing cards to gain advantage and effect. And Sunamon allow you to refill your hand so you don't, discard your entire hand away. And to move on to level 3, you have the 2 Gabumons. Both Gabumons serve the same purpose in that they allow you to cycle through your deck to find your combo pieces. This is a fairly consistent deck, but you are still, after all, playing purple. And purple is by nature just a combo heavy kind of color. So these will allow you to draw your pieces with interaction with each other, and then fill your trash and to set up your Titamon call and giving you the toolbox option. Lapamon serve the same purpose, but the reason for Lapamon is because this is a card that activate on play, meaning that if you need to emergency cycle a card, you can do this through calling this back with Titamon, for example. And we have Gilmon. Now, Gilmon effect is when it is deleted by an effect, it gains 1 memory. This might seem minor, but this 1 memory will allow you to pull off a number of pretty impressive plays due to the fact that both Titamon and the other level 6 Plumon that you play in this deck are both 4 costs. And Gilmon being able to give you that 3 memory back and not pass turn is going to come up quite a bit. Last but not least, we have Electmon for level 3. Now this is just a pressure card that you can drop and swing, and if it dies, you can kill your opponent 3. This is a inclusion to deal with the heavy rookie presence in this meta. Next, we move on to level 4, which start with your 2 blocker Valmon. Blocker in this meta is not the most useful thing. Just too many things kind of not care about blocker, but I still think you want to run some amount, just so you don't put yourself in an awkward situation where you get lethal when you shouldn't be, because you don't have a blocker. And then you have your main package, which is Kinkakumon, Ginkakumon, Ginkaku Promote. As mentioned previously, they are there to support Ginkaku Promote primarily, but Kinkakumon does offer the advantage of allowing you to trash card to pop your opponent level 3 Digimon. Again, more option for you to play for tempo early. Ginkakumon will allow you to gain memory, so he's primarily in your source to when you evolve Titlemon to not pass turn. Of the remaining level 4, we have Ogremon, who is on play, trash a card from your hand to delete one your opponent level 4 or lower. Well, what this does is this allow you to go through blockers. If your opponent has a blocker set up, for example, Titamon might have issue setting up lethal, so Ogremon exists to get rid of low-level problem cards, such as memory denial. And then we move on to level 5s. You have your one-of Lady Devimon. This card, you can take it or leave it, but mostly it exists so you can cycle more. The goal of this deck, as you can see so far, is I try to run a lot of cards that cycle through your deck quite a bit in order to increase the deck consistency and find all your combo pieces. Your 3 Black War Groundmon. Now, Black War Groundmon is actually a quite important card in this deck, as it allows you to Digiburst 3 and get any rookie back, meaning that you, on this card from your stack, you can burst 3 to play your Gilmon, and then from there, set up a number of plays using Gilmon. And also, it allows you to on-swing with a level 6 with this in source to pop any Digimon and untap the Digimon you're attacking with. So in combination with Titamon additional security check, this allows you to generate a lot of pressure. Now, as you might have noticed, I did not mention Jesmon in my previous matchup list is because of this card right here, Rebellion. Rebellion says on evolve, give yourself blocker and retaliation, meaning that if your opponent Jesmon does not play the Shine Greymon that give them minus 2k DP, they have 0 ways of interacting with this card outside of playing maybe a high cost option to pop it. Otherwise, they're going to be delay a turn just by you having this card on board. So a number of times you can do something as simple as evolve Titamon, play a level 4, evolve that into Rebellion. Well, the Jesmon player is completely stuck for a turn while you have time to sub-lethal or do anything you want. And now, let's move to level 6. Of course, you have your main for Titamon. And Titamon, as described earlier, is your main combo pieces and the card that set up a lot of your plays. The reason I think Titamon is good is because he's so versatile. Titamon is one of those cards that just works regardless of kind of what you draw. Even if you don't get your Genkaku promote, even if you don't get your Black War Groundmon, he's still big card. He's swinging for 14 additional security checks. And then, you can play an additional body. Just good tempo, good value. You may be wondering, though, why am I playing Plutomon? I know that the popular choice as a support level 6 for this deck is Mastemon. Now, the reason I'm not playing a Mastemon in this is because I think self-burning yourself for 1 is really dangerous due to a number of decks that can lethal you from 3 security or even 4 security. So Plutomon allow you to tempo with the option card that I choose to include in this deck while also effectively drawing 3 cards. Digging, again, more dig through your deck to get your pieces. And there's some cool plays that you can set up with him. As for your level 7, we are playing Millenniummon. Millenniummon, I think, has quite a bit of value in this meta, just due to being a card that your opponent... That's just... Once you get to Millenniummon, he's just a pain. Your opponent doesn't have really a way to remove him. And he also provides an alternative removal for protection from deletion effects such as Craniamon. So this is the one card that will help you into the Royal Knights matchups. Now, let's talk options. You have Revive of Darkness. Now, this is a very uncommon pick. I know you're wondering, why would you play Revive of Darkness? Well, the thing of note is Revive Darkness costs 4. And the effect is you might delete one of your purple Digimon and play a level 5 or lower Digimon from your trash, and none of their unplay effect will activate. Now, the card costs 4, but it deletes a Digimon, so meaning if you have a Gilmon on board, you can use this card for 3 memory and play any level 5, allowing you to tempo onto the board quickly and evolve into your level 6. So for example, if you have a War Groundmon stack, you can move out your War Groundmon stack and then burst to play a Gilmon from your trash, evolve that stack into a Plutomon. Pluto will then play Revive from Darkness, and then Revive Darkness will pop the Gilmon, allowing you to play an additional level 5 stack, and you gain 1 memory. You're still not passing turn. If you start the turn with 3, you have a level 6 Plutomon stack that you can choose to evolve to Millennium if you wish. Or you have an additional level 5 that you can choose to evolve into another Titamon or another Plutomon and play more options. It's just a really valuable card overall, and again, it's because of the low cost, meaning that early game, if you're able to get a Gilmon out quickly and you have 3 memory, you can possibly on turn 2 play this option, pop your Gilmon, play a level 5, and evolve into Titamon directly. Next, you have Underworld Call. Now, Underworld Call is another card that might not see that much play, but I do like this card quite a bit. It is a 4-cost that allow you to play a level 4 from your trash. The thing of note here is that it activates on-play effect for whatever you play. So this will allow you to reuse the effect of a number of your Digimon, such as using this to play your Genkaku Promote from trash to activate his effect, gain 1 memory, draw a card, and then you basically effectively play a Rush Digimon for 3 costs. And the other effect is when you trash this card using any kind of effect, you get to draw 1. So sometimes if you don't have other good targets in your hand that you want to trash, this is a card that you can trash to draw. And then if you have Sunamon, you can draw again. So, draw 2. And on top of that, the security effect is not bad. It's a free level 4 Digimon from security. And finally, we have 2 Deadclaw. Well, Deadclaw is an interesting card. I think it's a fairly good staple card in purple, just by allowing you to pop and generate your activate your deletion effect, such as Electmon and Gilmon, and it is a good answer to a lot of the rookies in this meta. And of course, you can't forget you have your 2 Matt Ishida, your memory tamer, because this deck does like to play from 3 memory. So that's a general list. Again, this list is pretty versatile, I would think. There's a number of ways that you can change this. This deck is very toolbox heavy, so I believe that there's a number of tweaks that you can do that wouldn't hinder it too much. Now let's talk about some addition that you can add to this deck once the EX collection comes out. First, we have Ogremon. Now, Ogremon says when you attack, you can trash a card to give this Digimon additional security checks. So it'll check for 2 and it's 5,000 DP base. And then as a source effect, you can trash a card from your hand to give your Digimon plus 2,000 DP. Both effects are significant and can come up. The reason I think Ogremon will be a good addition to your deck is because you can then use this card to simulate a lot of what the other Rookie Rush deck does. For example, both Octomon and the Greymon with additional security check in Agumon are both 7k, and they're heavy pressure card. Now, once you finally get this card, you can make the decision to play the Goblinmon from BT6, which says when you trash a card from your hand, it gains 2 additional as an ESS, give 2,000 additional DP, meaning that your Ogremon stack can come out swinging for 7,000 to security check, the same as the Greymon with additional security check in Agumon, meaning that you can heavily pressure those bond decks early, put them into an uncomfortable position, make it to where if they warp on you, your Titamon or your Genkaku Promote can come out and set up lethal them for the game. And next you have Analog Boy. Analog Boy is a very popular card overall. The card says when your level 5 or higher stacks die, you gain 1 memory, draw a card, and hatch an egg. Meaning that, because this is a 1 stack kind of deck, in the sense that you're going to be evolving from your raising zone, moving out, and then try to set up that way. You're not going to be actively playing a lot of Digimon from your hand directly onto board. So when your as I mentioned, when your Titamon stack die, that is a problem. Well, Analog Boy kind of mitigate this a little bit by allowing you to hatch another egg and set up another stack immediately if something goes wrong and your Titamon run into a Gaia Force or anything like that. And last, we have Lady Devimon. Lady Devimon allow you to trash 3 on evolve, and then ESS allow you to get a memory when you trash a card. Now, This card is okay. But as mentioned previously with Gilmon, anytime that you get a plus memory effect, uh, even though one memory seemed like it's very small, it allow you to do a number of plays. And my apologies, this card actually ESS actually when you play a Digimon from your trash, you gain one memory. So meaning that your Ginkaku promote through a number of effects can become 2 costs if you were to use, like, say, Underworld Call and activate the full Ginkaku promote effect. So I think these are really the only 3 cards that you would care for from Classic Collection. All low rarity, should be fairly easy to get, and they add some advantage to the deck. And that is it for this deck profile. I know that Purple player has been suffering for a long time playing this color. Trust me, I understand. I play hundreds of games with Chaos Gallimon in BTO5. I know the struggle. Finally, I think, we have a deck that is consistent. It can play for tempo, it can pressure, it can OTK, it can do, it's a deck that functions however you want to. You can build in a number of ways and it will generally work. I think Titamon is a great card. I think this deck is quite good into the meta, even though it's probably a little bit weaker than some of the other tier 1 decks. I do think this deck is capable of performing and getting a result. So I hope you guys like this deck profile and good luck out there.